Legacy Fighting Alliance number 160 preliminary action. Ron Crook and Gilbert Melendez with you. We begin in the middleweight division, and the tail of the tape is powered by Army National Guard. Trent Nott is 35. Mataeo Gardner is 9 years younger at 6'3". Nott is 6 inches taller and will have a 5.5-inch reach advantage. To get the action going, let's go inside the octagon, and the voice of the LFA, here's Mike Kendall.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live on LFA's Facebook Live and YouTube pages, alongside with UFC Fight Pass Brazil for tonight's LFA 160 preliminary matchups. We begin in this bout scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the LFA middleweight division, brought to you tonight by the Kentucky Army National Guard. Be a part of something greater. Visit us online at nationalguard.com. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. This mixed martial arts stands 5'9", weight in 185.4 pounds. Tonight, he's making his professional debut. Representing Demolition Fight Team and fighting out of Greensburg, Pennsylvania, Mataeo Top Aim Gardner. His opponent across the octagon, fighting out of the red corner, is a striker, jiu-jitsu style fighter, standing 6'3", weighed in 184.4 pounds. He holds a professional record, 2 wins, 0 defeats, with 1 win coming by way of knockout. Representing Hurricane MMA, fighting out of Athens, Ohio, Trent the Wolf Nott. Your referee in charge of the action, Chris Kidman.
Went over the instructions of the back. Stay clean, protect yourselves, have fun. You got any questions? Touch gloves now, go back to your corners.
LFA 160, the first time the octagon has touched down in the great state of Kentucky. Gil, a middleweight action. Mataeo Gardner making his LFA debut, as well as Trent Nott. Nott, 35 years old, comes in with a spotless 2-0 record. And Mataeo Gardner, he is making his pro debut tonight.
Yeah, I love that Garner is taking on someone who's 2-0 in his pro debut. Right away, taking on a challenge, not trying to fight someone 0-0, not trying to fight someone 0-1, but steps up against Trent Nott, who's a beast.
Made his amateur debut in November of 2019, won 2 amateur MMA titles, and here goes Gardner looking for a takedown.
Yeah, Garner catch the leg kick of Nott, takes him all the way to the cage now, looking to work a double leg. You're hearing Mataeo Gardner's corner saying take your time, and that's smart, where it's earlier in the fight here. You have your opponent against the cage, trying to wear him with this pressure. You also have control time here. And there's work being done. It looks like nothing's happening, but everyone's trying to make their adjustment. There's the lift. There's the guillotine attempt.
Yeah, that was slick by Trent Nott, but Garner able to pop out of it.
And gets the takedown without having to do the takedown.
Right, absolutely. Garner training with the Demolition Fight Team, got Gary Young in his corner. He also trains with Dylan Abudka there, who will be going for the vacant title tonight, middleweight title. Should be a great fight as he takes on the Russian Azamat Bakoyev.
Yeah, Budka is here sitting front row watching his teammate. You know, sometimes fighters do that. Some people are like, you can't be watching the fights during your fight night, but he wants to support his teammate, come out here. He's old school. I used to do that as well.
100%. All the scrap pack did, didn't they?
Absolutely, except we don't corner each other. You don't want to corner someone, but you can watch from afar.
Interesting.
Garner doing a good job of in the half guard position, landing some good strikes. Was threatened by Nott, so disengaged.
Not very comfortable on his back, purple belt in BJJ, but a black belt in karate.
Wait a second, he's not comfortable, or is he? I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, exactly. He represents and trains out at Hurricane MMA. Harry Hunsucker, the UFC vet, is in his corner. And our referee, Chris Kidman, stands him up, and they've will reset in the center of the LFA octagon.
I like that Garner scored some points with that takedown in half guard, a couple strikes, looked maybe for the head and arm triangle to get a submission, but was threatened by Nott, so disengage back to his feet.
We said that, quick hands from Gardner, and as he punches in, he jumped guard.
Yeah, he did jump guard. A 3-2, and then a response by Nott, and then Garner again counters with the takedown. That's a lot like the first takedown. Garner threw a kick, Nott responded with the kick, Garner caught the kick.
Just past 2 minutes to go in the opening round, LFA middleweight division. Mataeo Garner making his pro debut, just made his pro boxing debut earlier this year. He's a former D1 football player at Alabama A&M. Went 5-3 as an amateur, Gil.
That's pretty impressive. I like that he's isolating the boxing, becoming better at boxing. I had to tell all my athletes, all my fighters, before you become an MMA fighter, you gotta isolate just the boxing, just the kickboxing, just the jiu-jitsu, and just the wrestling. And there's lower level competitions called smokers and jiu-jitsu tournaments that aren't, that help prepare you for these moments. But isolating makes you a better mixed martial artist. Beautiful flying knee attempt by Nott. I didn't want to not acknowledge that.
Absolutely, give him some credit. Muay Thai specialist. Second fight in only 65 days for Nott. Looking to stay unbeaten, making his LFA debut, but as Gil mentioned, comes in with a spotless 2-0 record. Comes in as Tapology's #4 ranked middleweight in Kentucky. And again, Gardner punching his way into this body lock. But I mean, that's what the LFA is all about. Tapology's got him as the #4 ranked middleweight in Kentucky, and he's on the prelims.
Jeez, but this is the opportunity right here, just like you said, Ron. This is the LFA. We're getting top-ranked fighters, high-ranked fighters.
If you haven't done so, you need to sign up at UFCFightPass.com for this huge card tonight. 2 world championship title fights. Bantamweight strap on the line between Alan Bagoso and John Sweeney, and the interim middleweight belt is on the line as well between Dylan Budka and Azamat Bakoyev. There's the quick horn, and we will go into these. Looking very comfortable in his Legacy Fighting Alliance debut. Trent Nott, red tape and red trunks. Mataeo Gardner, blue tape and green shorts.
So if I'm Trent Nott's corner, I say, listen, Nott, you're doing good in the striking department. This Gardner's a little bit shorter than you. He's level changing. Let's throw some right uppercuts after that one. Jab, right uppercut. Throw your 2 left uppercut to stop this individual for double legging you. Beautiful takedown by Gardner. Vicious elbows.
Yes. Scores another takedown here in the second round, and now we see some ground and pound and some power from Garner. And this started with Nott landing a nice kick, but then he was taken down, and Gardner going to work. Nott's got to do something, or this fight is over. Crazy, Gil. I wonder if Trent Nott got injured.
I'm not too sure.
He got taken down, and then there was no, I mean, he didn't do, he was just covering up.
I don't know. It seemed like he was trying to sell to the judge that he was getting hit behind the head and was relying on the referee. I think that's a bad decision. I think he could have kept responding and fighting back instead. I think he was leaning on the referee to help him.
Interesting. Yeah, possibly. He was taken down and never got back up. See, let's start here. He goes for the knee. He missed. Garner gets the takedown.
Beautiful slam immediately to vicious elbow after elbow after elbow, and then contains, then gets the form right here, then holds down his opponent, becomes more smart and tactical. Very good job by Garner. Now he starts dropping these elbows. He sees Nott's not responding. I don't know why he's not responding at this point. So Garner just goes ham and gets even more vicious. The ref is checking on him, and immediately look at Garner, looks at the ref and says, "That's behind my head or my ear." Man, it's really a shame because Nott was doing a good job. He's very much in this fight. And I think that was a mental error by him to try to have the ref help him in that position. campaign for that later.
Yeah, and he's the veteran fighter. Comes in with a 2-0 record. Now his opponent's win-loss record was only 2-4, but still he has that professional MMA experience, but could not get it done as Mataeo Gardner gets a victory in his pro debut. Let's now get the official time. Here's Mike Kendall.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Chris Kinman, stops this fight in 48 seconds of the second round, declaring your winner by TKO, Mataeo Top Aim Garner.
Successful pro and LFA debut for Mataeo Gardner, the 26-year-old from Greensburg, Pennsylvania. Gets a win, and Gil looked very impressive in doing so.
Yeah, very impressive. A full package. You know, being a football player, doing boxing, and then looks like he wrestled. He must have wrestled. I don't know, man. Just whatever they're doing that demolition fight team, they're really using their MMA game. They're using their hands and the takedowns, getting back up to their feet. I'm excited for Gardner's future, beating a tough guy like Nott. We'll see what's next for him in the LFA.
Mataeo Gardner gives Trent Nott his first professional loss in MMA. Big night of fights here in Owensboro, Kentucky. The first time that we have made a stop in the Bluegrass State. The bantamweight title is up for grabs in the LFA 160 main event, which of course airs exclusively on UFC Fight Pass. Flashy karate black belt from South Carolina. John Sweeney battles with Brazilian striker Alan Bagoso. Sweeney is going for his first ever MMA title, while Bagoso has earned a second shot at LFA Gold.
My name is Hollywood John Sweeney, and I'm fighting for the bantamweight world title. I lost my best friend slash brother. I lost a nephew all in the same week right before I get this call. And man, that just lifted my spirits, and it just had me in a great spot that day. If you've never seen Hollywood John Sweeney fight, you should expect fireworks. Great martial art skill from a great martial artist. Right now, I'm a katana blade just ready to be unleashed on the world.
Hi, my name is Alan Bagoso, and now you'll be fighting for the LFA bantamweight title. I'm very excited, especially like I know it's been like 6 years and the last Brazilian bantamweight champ, so I'll be more than happy to bring back.
There we go.
I'm a striker, and you guys can expect like I'm gonna try to find a knockout or even submit somebody, but I always gonna look for finish the fights.
When it comes to skill on the feet, I feel like it's night and day, and I'm going to be the one who lands that shot.
So now you'll be, pressure all the time and looking for finishing and get this belt and go to the next step.
I will be that guy who wins this title and wins the UFC title.
There is your main event tonight. Alan Bagoso and John Sweeney for the LFA Bantamweight Championship. The former champion, Muin Gafarov, he moved on to the UFC. And so did another champion who was crowned this year, Gerald Hodge, who was picked up by Bellator. This is a very important title in this promotion. Many of the champions have moved on to the big show and could do it again tonight with a win, Gil.
Yeah, Sweeney and Bagoso. This is a fun matchup because they're both very dynamic, explosive, but different styles. Now, Sweeney is a karate practitioner, but he's so aggressive with his striking. I'm used to them being elusive karate practitioners, but he is getting in the chaos, landing punches, playing the in and out game, talking smack to his opponents, doing the beautiful wheel kicks. But what's so impressive lately has been his jiu-jitsu. And yes, we're seeing a submission here, but his last fight, he had to fight a very high-level jiu-jitsu practitioner. And what I was really impressed with is he engaged in the jiu-jitsu, did a very good job at defending the leg locks, defending the arm bars, but continuing to be offensive and grounding and pounding his opponents. He's very dangerous. But speaking of dangerous, Bagoso is another dynamic fighter, but this guy's like Mike Tyson, always the shorter fighter, has to get his head offline to throw these big punches, big hooks, gets it done with his hands, but you could also see he can get it done with his knees and in the submission department. Training again with the great Uriah Faber. He says he's been working day in, day out with Uriah Faber, making sure his wrestling is on point. But again, I don't think Bagoso's going to be using his wrestling to take people down. He's going to be using his wrestling to defend the takedown and to get in there and get some scraps.
Absolutely. That is the main event, but we have a double header of World Championship title fights tonight. Dylan Budka and Azamat Bekoyev, they will battle for the interim middleweight strap in the co-main event. This is the time to get to UFC Fight Pass and sign up as we check out some highlights, Gil, of the mindless Hulk, Dylan Budka.
I love that
years
nickname.
old.
That's his style, man. He goes in there and he's, I'm just gonna take names. Last time we talked, he fought like I don't know how many fights in 1 month or in 6 months. He's just an active young brute fighter who likes to come forward with punches, will take you down and slam you and beat you into submission. And now his opponent is such an animal. Bekoyev is a very classic Russian striker, so disciplined on his feet, just making no mistakes, loves that left hook to the body, to the head, but I love how he uses it to set up the takedown. And when he gets on top of like Budka, he's gonna hold you there, he's gonna pressure you there, he's gonna chip away with these elbows, try to cut you up. Both these guys are very similar, except I'd say Bekoyev is a little bit more patient, a little more calculated, but I hope these two wrestlers end up striking.
I think all fight fans hope for that, Gil. There is the rest of this stacked card. Alini Pereira, the younger sister of former UFC champ Alex Pereira, she's back. We have a heavyweight showdown between Aaron Bush and Cameron Kinzig. The debut of Josiah Harrell, a up-and-coming top prospect, and a battle, I can't wait for this one, veteran Nate Williams, 25th professional fight, facing newcomer Cortavius Romeus from St. Louis. That is your LFA 160 main card. But the action rolls on here in Owensboro, Kentucky. LFA 160 preliminary card. Ron Kruk and Gilbert Melendez with you for this welterweight showdown. The tail of the tape, powered by Rejuvenator. Damon Bell is 31 and Alonzo Turner 5 years younger. Bell is 2 inches taller and is an inch and a half longer in the reach department. For the official fighter introductions, we go inside to the voice of the LFA Octagon, Mike Kendall.
LFA 160 preliminary action in this contest, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the LFA welterweight division. Brought to you tonight by Rejuvenator, a better way to clean your shoes. And now, introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. This wrestler stands 5'7", weight in 170 pounds. He holds a professional record, 1 win, 0 defeats. That win coming by way of submission. Representing Revolution Fight and Fitness, fighting out of Euclid, Ohio, the relentless Alonzo Turner. His opponent across the octagon, fighting out of the red corner, is a Dutch kickboxer standing 5'9", weight in 171 pounds. He holds a professional record, 1 win, 0 defeats. That win coming by way of knockout. Representing Team Bell and Triumph Combat, fighting out of Louisville, Kentucky, Damon the D-Man Bell. Your referee is George Conley.
All right, gentlemen, we know the rules in the back. Protect yourself at all times, listen to me at all times. Touch gloves up, head back to quarters. Great.
If he looks familiar, Damon Bell, 1-0 in MMA, but making his LFA debut, but he also went 1-1 in BKFC. He also got a win in a kickboxing fight last month, taking on Alonzo Turner. Turner with the blue tape and the black and gray shorts. And Damon Bell, he's got the red tape, and he attacks that lead leg with a kick to get us going. Turner 1-0. Damon Bell, identical record. Turner got a win inside the LFA octagon over Austin Ross. That was back at LFA 155 in March. Very impressive second round rear naked choke win.
Yeah, Turner did have an impressive rear naked choke, but he did that by using his powerful hands and his takedowns, and he's using that tonight, trying to use his hands to the takedown. Bell did a very good job of neutralizing it, parrying the strikes, neutralizing the takedown, and circling off the cage.
And again, it's Bell attacking that lead leg. That one landed. That Turner stumbled a bit after that kick.
I agree. That's smart of Bell to take that lead leg away from the boxer wrestler and defend the takedown. Just jab, chip away, be patient. He's doing a very good job.
Bell, the Dutch kickboxer, so no shocker that he would come out kicking. He's won a couple pro titles in kickboxing as well.
Yeah. Nice kick by Alonzo Turner. Now, I believe Alonzo's eventually going to bite down on the mouthpiece. He's going to blitz forward, make this a messy fight. Do not let Bell do what he wants to do, which is Muay Thai you, toe-to-toe. He wants to fight a striking battle, and Turner got to make sure that's not what's happening.
Turner with the double jab, backs Bell up. Make sure you are following the Legacy Fighting Alliance on all social media platforms at LFA Fighting. Turner got a shot through the guard of Bell on that one.
Trying to inch his way in. Is Turner going to be able to inch his way in before his leg gets chopped down? Well, looks like it. Nice snag of the double leg. Let's see what Bell has off his back.
Explosive takedown from Alonzo Turner. D2 All-American wrestler, University of Findlay. That was back in 2016 and 17. He finished 6th Gil in the national tournament.
Wow.
4 years at Findlay. Had a 88-50 record. He also wrestled 1 year at Notre Dame College D2 school. And right now he works as an assistant wrestling coach at Harvey High School in Ohio.
Wow, man. Standing on a podium, NCAA, D1, D2, NAI, whatever. If you're a wrestler standing on that podium, you are very good. You're successful at wrestling. You know what you're doing out there. And we've seen that tonight right now from Turner. Beautiful double leg. Look to pass to Mount. Bell got him in this half guard position, but this is great for Turner. He's holding position. He's taking away the leg kicks of Bell by being on top and just holding him and tiring out Bell. This is what he needs to do. Tire him out, hold him down, ride him, go for the kill.
Beautiful transition for Alonzo Turner. That looks real tight. Damon Bell in trouble, Gil.
Oh yeah, he's out, flattened him out.
Over and out. Alonzo Turner chokes out Damon Bell. What a slick RNC victory, his 2nd in a row.
Slick RNC is a great way to describe it. What a transition. Bell gave up his back, and not only did Turner take his back, but he took his back and snagged the choke at the same time. So quick, so fast. Very good job by Turner and very patient. There it is, there's the double leg. There's that wrestling, there's that podium wrestling. Takes him down, starts holding him. He looks to pass to Mount, but Bell puts him in the half guard position. Now Bell working to get up, but Turner just riding him and transitions right to the back. And before getting the hooks in, he looks for the neck. Yeah. And that is really aggressive of him, very proactive of him to look for that neck. You don't necessarily need the legs in to get this choke, but he got it. He got the neck through the legs in, hip down. Bell had nowhere to go.
Keep an eye on 26-year-old Alonzo Turner. Now I know why they call him Relentless.
Relentless.
That was a relentless takedown and then beautiful transition to get his 2nd victory by way of submission. Alonzo Turner, this is his 8th consecutive win, including his amateur career, but he now improves to 2-0 as a pro. Let's get the official time. Here's Mike Kendall.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, George Conley, calls a stop to this fight 3 minutes, 26 seconds into the very first round, declaring your winner by tap out in a rear naked choke, the relentless Alonzo Turner.
After a win in his LFA and pro debut back in March, D2 All-American wrestler Alonzo Turner makes it 8 straight victories. And Gil, this is a kid to keep an eye on, there's no doubt about it.
Absolutely, he's been nothing but exciting in this LFA octagon, showing he's here not only to win, but to finish his opponents. Very, very good prospect for the LFA. I can't wait to see what we got next for him. We definitely have plenty of people in that welterweight division, and let's see what he can do next.
There he is with his Revolution Fight and Fitness team. Alonzo Turner is now 2-0. Well, that's going to do it for the Legacy Fighting Alliance number 160 preliminary card. This is the time, if you haven't done so, to sign up for UFC Fight Pass. You will not want to miss this stacked card tonight for LFA 160. Double header of world title fights. Azamat Bakoyov taking on Dylan Budka for the LFA interim middleweight strap. And then main event action, the bantamweight title up for grabs between South Carolina's John Sweeney and Brazil's via Sacramento, California, Alan Bagoso. For my broadcast partners, Mike Kendall and Gilbert Melendez, I'm Ron Kruk. We will see you over on UFC Fight Pass.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community, and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers get paid training to keep the power flowing, engines running, and supplies moving. Army National Guard soldiers are learning skills that can set them up for success with companies looking to hire the best.
The Army National Guard basically built my resume for me.
Find out how you can learn a trade and serve part-time for your community and country by visiting NationalGuard.com.